Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris.
And I'm Jodi.
Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel and our podcast on said channel. This is episode 13 of WearTesters Unlaced, brought to you guys by the good folks over at Move. If you're looking for an insole, stay tuned. We've got some cool stuff coming. 13?
13. Lucky number 13.
We do have a small bit of business to attend to real quick. I just wanted to do a shameless plug. My other company, Apparel, is dropping a brand new t-shirt right here. This one is all about the 2000 dunk contest, one of the best dunk contests of all time. Not only that, it was actually in the Bay Area. Like, we love that. Like, I don't know, or no, we haven't had it back. We're going to
2025.
Right, so that'll be at the Chase Center. But this one was over at Oracle and everything. So yeah, so this one's kind of like for Canada and for the Bay all at the same time, as well as just overall basketball fans. I think that anybody that is from my era of watching and playing basketball should relate to that shirt pretty nicely. Like, I remember watching that with my friends, and we were just like, we were hyped for Vince, dude. Like, that dude was literally amazing. Probably the best dunker of all time. And yes, I know that there's Dominique and then there's MJ, both great in-game dunkers. But I don't know if you've ever watched Vince Carter or not, like if you're gonna like debate this, but like I highly suggest that you go and watch his dunk highlights. The dude was just bananas. So hopefully you're interested. Pre-orders are right now if you're watching this or listening. So you can go to senseapparel.com and grab a t-shirt. We'll fulfill orders. Usually it's within like 4 to 6 weeks. So, but these ones, I think they're ready to go like right now. So once the pre-orders are done, I think they close on Monday. We'll start like getting everything ready for manufacturing, which is a lot sooner or quicker than we typically do it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into sneaker news. So basically we've got this new Vomero 5 colorway, a shoe that both of us really love. We walk in them damn near daily. This is a colorway that I don't know if you'll like it, but I know that you like the shoe.
I do like the shoe.
So this is my thing, is that for me, when I would be the main tester as far as like basketball products go, a lot of times I'd get in a shoe and either I wouldn't like how it looked, or I just would just kind of be just whatever about it. And then when I would play in it, this happened a number of times, by the way, but when I would play in it, I found out that like I absolutely love hooping in them, which then made me go and buy just too many pairs in like all color, because I just like, if I loved it on court, I would like to wear it off court. This is kind of that shoe, I think, for you, where this colorway is not your thing.
It's not mine, but I would definitely be like, I'll wear those for my walking shoe. Exactly,
and that's what I wanted to hear from you, because she bags on baby blue all day.
I don't like baby blue.
It's okay not to like it, but like,
it's like cotton candy, and it's definitely, there are certain colors I feel like they have a specific time, like avocado green in appliances, or...
But you wear green pants.
I love a good army green cargo pants. I can't help it.
But if it's a fridge...
No, I'm just saying, like, the color baby blue, I feel like, is the very late 90s, early 2000s. That's where it goes.
Do you think you only say that because that was the it color back then?
It was. It really was.
But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you only say that? Do you, like, be real? Because you know how, like, you can, like, reflect back and be like me with green and orange and yellow and like colors that I loathed as a youngster. I just, for whatever reason, didn't like them.
I still don't see me ever loving baby blue.
No, I'm not saying that you would love it. I'm saying, will you admit that it's a good color? You just date it in your own mind.
Sure, it's an okay color.
I'll take it. I mean, probably not going to get much more than that. Next up, we got the Reebok Question Mid. Back in a brand new-ish colorway, even though it's not. These are the... What they're saying in the press release is that it's the last Reebok question of the year to release, so thank goodness, because it's not like we haven't had enough of those.
2024 is literally around the corner, so...
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that was literally like the first line in the press release, and I was like, that's not anything
Hey,
special.
they gotta make a little paragraph.
No, I know. So, but this colorway is reminiscent of Kobe Bryant's PE. This is a shoe in a colorway that has released before in what was called the Player Promo Pack. That was a 2-shoe pack that they eventually ended up splitting up, because before you had to buy both at the same time. You know, one of them was Kobe's shoe, and then the other one was a St. Vincent St. Mary's shoe for LeBron. But this one is supposed to resemble, or more closely resemble, his actual PE, which looked almost just like this. Like maybe the shade is a little bit different, but yeah. So you know that's what this is. They just released again previously because they released the yellow toe PEs, and then they released them again for some reason. I don't know why. I think there was something that they changed with like the logos. I can't remember what it was, but it was like they messed up or whatever, so like they fixed it. Anyways, this is supposed to be closer to his PE pair. If you're unaware of why he was wearing Reebok Questions in the first place, he ended up buying out his Adidas contract. He was unhappy with Adidas. This is after the Kobe 2. That's when he became a sneaker free agent, because I think there was a lapse where like you couldn't, like they call it like a non-compete, so like you can't sign with a competing brand within a certain amount of time. And so for whatever reason, he just decided just to accept shoes from everywhere. So every brand was trying to capture this guy, and he was getting and wearing PEs from And1, from Reebok, from Nike, from Jordan, all that stuff. So obviously he ended up landing at Nike and signing a signature deal with them. But that's what this shoe is all about, and that's why he was wearing it. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Just that the colorway is very, like, I feel like you could group them. And remember, we had talked about this off camera, but originally when you'd gotten those mauve Jordan 1s, I was like, hey, they almost look like the Brotherhood ones. And I just feel like you could group this in there and like be like, what color purple palette do you want today?
Yeah. It's not a color that I think took, because those mauve, whatever they're called, ones are still available at lots of places.
Oh, I know. We were at Phenom, and they have, I don't know if it was a mid or a high. I wasn't sitting there counting lace holes, but they also had a low, and it was using that similar purple in the toe and on the rear, mixed with some other colors like orange and...
Oh, those were highs, or not highs, those were mids and lows.
Okay.
You just look at the tongue logo, the top of it. If it says Nike Air, obviously it's a high.
It's just the Jumpman tag.
Yeah, if it's just the Jumpman with the Air underneath it, it's a mid. And majority of the lows that you see are just the lows. They're not the low OGs. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. So last but not least, this is actually not sneaker news. This is just something that I saw on my feed. A friend of mine, Japino. He's a Japanese Filipino. He's a hardcore collector, first off. So like I don't want to like definitively say, but I will definitively speculate that I'm pretty sure he has every shoe, like every Jordan. Now, at least like the retro. I don't want to say that he'll have like all the boots and all the random that they released back in the 99 and 2000 era to 2003 to 4-ish. Although he might, I wouldn't actually put it past him. But as far as retros go, this dude's got 2 of almost fucking everything. Like, I'm not even kidding. And this shoe right here, he posts almost daily. He just posts like random parts of his collection. Sometimes it's all about like something just re-released, and so like he'll post pictures of the older releases and do comparison shots and stuff like that, just for like people's information. Today though was just a random ass post, and he posted this pair of 2004 Air Jordan 1 lows, and I first off love them because it's my first pair of Jordan 1 lows. And fun fact, this was a 2004 release. It was the first time the Air Jordan 1 low was retroed, and they released in 2 colorways, none of which were originals. One was a white and blue, and the other one was this one, which was like navy, black, and white. And this person right over here bought them for me. So yeah, so they were just special on a number of different levels. And I've always loved the shoe and the colorway. Obviously nostalgic for me on a personal level, not so much on a historical level, like an OG colorway would be. So, when I saw it through my feed, it just kind of made me smile, because like I always, like every time I think about this shoe randomly. Like, how like you'll think of moments? Like
yes.
that was a moment. My moments all revolve around shoes. So yeah, I was just like, I'll randomly just be thinking, and that memory will pop up in the shoe, and I'll be like, oh man, I miss those. And so yeah, so I just wanted to share the thought, I guess. I know it's not news or anything, but I just saw them and I was just like, oh, that's cool, man. So
on that day, his heart grew 3 sizes.
It did actually. So but yeah, if you want to share anything, like if you remember buying them, if you remember why you bought them, because I don't remember if they were for my birthday or not. But
I don't remember why I would have. I don't even know how I would have bought them. Like, we did not have a lot of money at all back then.
No.
Talk about living paycheck to paycheck days. Like, that was
Oh, those were the days when we were living.
We would go and give a check so we could get money in advance.
Right. What was that called? Cash advance?
Yes.
Yeah, we would cash advance. Okay, so we weren't even living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
we were behind. So yeah, those were rough days.
They were rough days, but they were fun days. Like we were freshly out in the world together on our own, and we did it. We did it.
I know. Yeah, it's been a long time since 2004. It'll be a long time.
We're about to be, well, it's been over 20 years.
No, I'm saying next year it'll be.
Oh, I know. We're about to be, our relationship together is about to hit drinking legal age.
That's crazy.
Do you know when it came out? Because that would help me.
I think they came out right around June, so that's why.
They must have been your birthday present.
Exactly, because like we didn't buy stuff like that.
No.
Really at all. Unless it was like for work, like a pair of work shoes.
Which those wouldn't have been.
No.
He was our maintenance guy, so there was no way we would have bought you shoes like that for.
Like, you know, trash like that.
Yeah,
so,
fix apartment toilets and stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, so you know, I don't know like how I would just want to say like my first thought is like, oh, it was probably for my birthday. It's so funny, man. Like you get one shoe a year as a kid, or we did, and then because of, you know, financial reasons and stuff, and then well, also because we just weren't spoiled, you know what I mean? Like, I think even if my parents had a lot of money, like, I don't think I would have gotten more than one shoe a year anyways. But even into adulthood, you, like, realize real quick, like, oh, we're poor.
Yeah.
Like, buying things frugally is not easy. So this is why I should always, like, have a disclaimer in every video, although I don't necessarily feel like I need to, just because it's not my choice what people do with their money. To be honest, like, and I'm not trying to dig at anybody, but when I read a comment in our comment section that says like, oh, like watching your channel hurts my wallet, like that hurts my feelings.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're just saying that you did such a good job showing off the shoe.
I know.
And I don't feel like you over embellish or big up like I see other, and this isn't even just sneaker channels, like there's a lot of YouTube that happens in my house, and the people, like our son watches a lot of things, and the way that everything is so hyped and like screaming at the camera about how awesome something is, I'm like, not everything can be this awesome and great. Can we just talk about?
Yeah.
And I feel like our channel does a very good job of keeping it balanced.
I hope so, because like I said, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. It's just that when I see a comment like that, it makes me feel like I hyped up somebody that was not interested, and that's never my intent. My intent is always just to simply educate, go over some history details, let people know what the shoe offers, and I give a little bit of my opinions in the middle of all of that stuff. So that's really all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to review products, but like I feel like there should be a disclaimer of like, you don't need to buy everything. Like, you should not buy everything. You, unless you're filthy rich, cannot afford to buy everything. If you're in the market for a new insole or orthotic, then we'd recommend checking out the products from today's sponsor, Move. Move offers 3 different insole options. The Game Day is perfect for those with a normal or neutral arch that want a little extra support underfoot, along with a little extra cushioning. The Game Day Pro is for those that have a high arch and or those that prefer a more substantial torsion system within their footwear. This is the insole that we'd recommend if you're a taller athlete or a professional athlete. The Move All Day is a polyurethane-based insole that features a neutral arch plate, perfect for everyday wear. The polyurethane offers a bit of extra bounce with each step and can transform the comfort level of your daily retro sneakers up a few notches. If you are interested in checking out any of the insoles Move has to offer, then you can head over to www.move.one and check out all the items that are available. Timeout! All right, guys, so our timeout section is just that. It's a quick timeout from everything that we just talked about. No basketball shit, no sneaker shit, really just throwing it back to OG nerd. If you're a original viewer of the channel, you know that I had a series called Nightwing's Nerd Shit, and that's where I would, you know, showcase my pickups, like my toy pickups and stuff like that. I love collecting action figures, comic books. I like playing video games and all that stuff. It's not just about, you know, sneakers and basketball. For me, I'm more than that thing, you know what I mean? Like that, I'm not like stuck in that shoebox, if you will. So I just like to show and let people know that it's cool to be a nerd still, and it's not like if somebody tries to make fun of you for it, like F that guy, you know what I mean? So the first thing I wanted to show is just this thing right here. This is a deluxe figure. This is Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, or the Goblin. This is from No Way Home. So why these are coming out right now when the movie came out, what, almost 3 years ago?
Was it?
It's at least 2 years old.
I guess you're right, because they had like a re-release where it was extended, and I took the kids to that, and I guess that was 2 years ago. I don't know. I have no concept of time since 2020.
I know. That messed up everything. But
it was our own, you know?
Yes, our own blip. But yeah, so like this guy right here, though, I think what happened was Marvel, or not Marvel, but Hasbro, who is the licensor for, or licensee for the figures and stuff. I don't think that they necessarily had all of the likeness rights yet from all of the actors. Like obviously they had Tom Holland because they made, you know, previous figures with his head sculpt and things like that. But there was the No Way Home 3-pack, which had every Spider-Man featured in the film, and none of them came with a head sculpt, like a maskless one. And they're just coming out now. And so that's why I'm kind of like, did you like not have likeness rights? Like, how did that even happen? So that's my only assumption. But anyways, this is the Goblin figure. First off, the sculpt is amazing. Like their faces are crazy. Like Marvel Legends has never gotten likenesses this good. Like I don't know if the technology had a little leap because they like 3D scan stuff. Whatever is going on, I don't know if it's a mixture between scan quality and paint application, because that's also a thing. Like McFarlane, his figures lack paint app on, or detail, but the detail in the sculpts are usually good. But if the paint apps don't have the detail in there, then they usually look real flat. So this guy though looks awesome. He does come with a goblin head. I just didn't put it on because his neck for some reason doesn't have the suit going all the way up.
So it's
skin
like color?
Yeah, so it's helmet, then skin, then suit. And I'm like, what the f? Like what happened there? So yeah, so I just have it like this just because it looks better.
I thought you just wanted to use his face.
No, what I wish happened was that because usually when there's a hooded character like this, if you can take their mask off or whatever it is, they'll come with another hood that's flat that you replace with this. So like it looks like their hood was pulled down, kind of like this. This didn't. And so like if it came with that, it would have covered the neck up, and then you would have been able to use the goblin helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what happened there, but a little bit of a hiccup, but still awesome looking figure. And pain in the ass to pose this figure.
I'm so glad that you're
letting it all out.
No, it's just that because this is sat on our counter for 3 days, and every day it's, who touched him? Why is he falling over?
Oh, just between that and the stupid little ball joint contraption that keeps the glider up and stuff, it's just, you know, not great as far as like planning on Hasbro's part, but whatever. The only thing that I'll say is like a real critique. The other things are just nerd frustrations. But the only real critique on the sculpt is that he's not wearing the Flight Posit shoes.
Yeah. And
that I thought was like disappointing. I was like, what? Like that, you know what I mean? I don't even know if he was wearing them in the film.
In the
No Way Home movie. Because in Spider-Man 1, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi, as soon as he stepped on Peter's hand when he went to thwip, towards the end, I was like, what the? Those were Flight Posits. It was like a 1 second clip. And I was like, damn. And colorway that never released and all that stuff because it's, you know, the green. But yeah, fun fact also is that at the time that this movie originally released, I'm talking about the Raimi film, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1. When that film originally released, Toy Biz was the licensee or licensor or whatever with the toy rights. And so that Willem Dafoe Green Goblin figure, which I used to have, actually did have the Flight Posit sculpting in the shoes and stuff. So, but yeah, this is a deluxe figure, so it's $50, which is ridiculously overpriced for this is all you get, and a helmeted head. So yeah, with no hood down, like it really overpriced crap, but like looks really cool on the shelf. Next up, this I got a little while ago, and I've been meaning to put it in like one of the segments here, but we've been switching around like topics and stuff, so like I haven't been able to showcase it, but I got this a few weeks ago. This is from a company called Trick or Treat Studios. You can check them out on Instagram. But this is a remake of the original Toxic Crusader figure of Toxie, obviously, and it comes with literally everything that the original, like this is like one of the best retro figures I've ever seen, and it's not from the original company. And I just find that to be crazy. So the box is not original or anything like that, but the box art I think might be. It's so fucking cool. Like the only thing that's maybe a little bit different is his color green is a little bit off, but it's not like anything crazy. I do have an original version of this. It's just loose, and which means opened. And on a shelf and stuff. But yeah, this actually was very affordable. It was like $34. And then these guys right here, these are from McFarlane. This is called the Superpowers line. This is kind of a tribute line from the past that McFarlane decided to bring back. This is a repaint, reissue of the previous Nightwing figure. The previous Nightwing figure was in his classic kind of like black with the blue bird logo on the chest. This one is an old school suit. This is actually one of my favorite suits of his. This is from the early 90s. This is when he had a ponytail and then he had a mullet and stuff like that. But yeah, I love this suit. The colors aren't accurate. I don't like the gold. I wish that it was just canary yellow, but you know, I'm not going to complain. I just think that it's like a great suit, and I found it at GameStop, so I was like, sweet. And then these two are also repaints or reissues and stuff like that of previous figures launched, but they're obviously different colors. So we've got a Batman, like Michael Keaton style Batman reissue, which is really cool. And then we also have a Tim Drake Robin, technically reissue, and this one is really, really cool because back in the 90s, you know, there was the original Batman the movie action figures were really interesting. They bounced around between two companies. If you wanted to watch like Toy History or whatever, there's a channel called Secret Galaxy. Highly recommend checking out his channel. His name's Dan Larson, the guy with the voice. I watch him all the time.
Oh, is he the one who gives like a whole history lesson?
Yeah.
He's kind of got salt and pepper hair now.
Mm-hmm.
and the facial,
beard. Yeah.
Okay.
He's fucking awesome, dude. Like, I love that guy's channel.
He does have a very specific voice.
It's Dan Larson, and today is toy time. Or that's not it. That's a really bad impression, but you know. So, but anyways, he goes through.
He has good visuals, and he does a really good job speaking directly to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said earlier, there's a lot of YouTube that happens in my household, and a lot of it's annoying. I will say he is not one of them.
No, he's one of my favorites. Like, if I was gonna rank the channels that I am subscribed to, he'd be in definitely top 10, possibly top 5. So anyways, I saw this, thought it was really cool. And then this one right here reminded me of that Batman Returns figure line where there was actually a Robin in the line, despite not having an actual Robin in the film, even though Tim Burton wanted one in the film, but it ended up getting scrapped. They had a suit, they had an actor, it was gonna be Marlon Wayans, and for whatever reason, like, they cut him out of the movie. I don't remember why. I think it was just because it didn't match the tone, because, you know, he's goofy and stuff like that. But anyways, he was supposed to be the Robin, and they still released a figure of it. And my brother actually had it. He got it for Christmas one year, and I was super jealous. Had to cop. Last but not least, this is the grand finale of all finales. Like, this guy right here, I think I purchased like almost a year ago, and this is from a company called NECA, so N-E-C-A. They do really great action figures that they look like you like reached into the TV when you were watching the show as a kid, the old cartoon, and just ripped out one of the characters, and boom, you had an action figure. Like, that's how good they look. And this is the turtle van from that show, and this thing is just, I can't even, like, look at this, man. Look at this. Like, what the? That's sick. It's got tail lights that work and everything. Look at that. There actually was like a turtle van war between the companies. Super 7 unveiled theirs, and the pre-order for that was like $450. And I was like, I love it, but I can't get it. Their van actually was a remake of the original turtle van that released when we were kids. So it was just a larger scale version of that, which is their whole thing. NECA, though, theirs is all about likeness. So whether it's movie likeness or show likeness, the accuracy is impeccable. This thing, not only does it have lights and but like it opens up just like the intro of the show, and the turtles can pop out and jump out and everything. If you were to open up all of the hatches, which you can, all the doors, you look in there, there's the radar that Donnie put in there. This thing is so cool. You can take off the lid for it and everything, so you can make sure that you can put the characters like in the seats and stuff like that, even though you can still open up the doors, but you know, it's a little harder to do that when they're large characters and stuff. It does have the little seat that's right here, just like the original, not just from the show, but also the original toy, but it's so big that it doesn't like drop down like it used to. Like you used to be able to open the door and then drop the seat down and put your turtle in it. Now you have to actually put him in there first and then you latch him on there. I just think that this thing is really damn cool. This was half the price of that Super 7 one. And then there's another one from like some third party that it's not officially licensed. And it's like...
It says Toidles instead of turtles.
No, that would be... Honestly, that would be cool. Even though like it's bootleg and stuff, but like I'd be like, yo, that's a dope, like deep cut.
All right, so now we're going to do some Q&As again. Every episode, these last several have been different. So...
What do you mean?
Like we've had Q&As a couple times now. Jodi's Corner has been on hiatus, but it's back today. Last week we had all those great interviews you did with the Under Armour guys. So anyways, yeah, right now we're jumping into questions from stuff that you guys have submitted in past...
The comment section.
Yeah, in the past comment sections.
So if you wanted to leave a comment for one of us or both of us, just do so. Make sure that you address that it's a question. That way, if she sees it and she chooses it, then it can be asked that way. So proceed. We
ended up in deep, not too deep, but I ended up bringing up The Walking Dead, I think. And so we got like, this guy had multiple questions and I was just like, hey, why not? Especially because since we talked about Walking Dead, we've been catching up on Fear. So it's crazy. We have like 3 episodes to go now.
The show is so bad now. It's so bad. They ignored what they did in the first half of the season and they just jumped into different shit. I was like, what is happening right now? The editing's been horrible. The dialogue and delivery of dialogue is awful.
Last night's was rough only because I was like, we're in Fear. I understand that these characters were originally in the original Walking Dead, but you're acting like just because you're watching Fear doesn't mean that you watched the original. Although then I went into this whole thing being like, why wouldn't you have watched the original if Fear was, say, your first jumping off point? Wouldn't you want to watch?
And the most messed up thing about all of it is that these actors are very good because we've seen them in all the different various shows and previous episodes, and I've never thought once that Dwight or what's her name from Dharma and Greg?
I love her. Her name's June
right?
in the show.
So her alone, she's a fantastic actress. She could do all kinds of shit. All of a sudden in this show, I'm like, did you forget? And so I had mentioned to her when we were watching one of the last episodes that we were looking at, I was just like, do you think that when they were filming this that they were like, yeah, we got this? Or
they got told, they're like, got it. That's great.
And that's the thing, because as an actor, you're only doing what you're directed to do. And so I'm just like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Even the camera angles are bad. I was just like it looks like it turned into a soap opera type of camera angles. I'm like, are these rookie, filmmakers and showrunners and stuff?
No,
what happened?
So at the end of Fear, if you're watching it on AMC Plus, they do a 5-minute interview, and each of the last ones, an actor has been in charge. They've been the directors.
I know.
So they're the ones being like, this is the camera angle I want.
And it's just not good. It's just not good. And I don't even like saying stuff like that because I'm not a critic. I will watch something for what it is and just be like, either I liked it or I don't. I think it's because we have such a large sample size. It was when we were going through it to get to the episode. First off, AMC Plus as a app is awful.
It's awful.
It's slow. It's jerky.
It worked so quickly for me the other day that I was like, no, I can't possibly be in the correct
half the time
episode.
It doesn't remember what we watched previously, so I'm like, what did we watch? And so I have to go through the whole thing. And so we get to the episode list, and I was like, we watched, what was it, 7 seasons of this?
Yeah, we're in the 7th final season.
So to be in the final season, okay, and me to finally just be like, what? That's what I mean, is that there was a huge sampling of good storytelling, acting, directing, all that stuff, to this where I'm just like, this is noticeably bad. So that's why I'm more frustrated than anything. I'm like, what the happened here?
It's okay, we got 3 episodes to go.
Thank God.
Okay, well with that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a big ass tangent.
All of these questions are for The Walking Dead specifically, but I'm just gonna say the universe as a whole. But who is your favorite Walking Dead character?
I love Rick's progression throughout the first few seasons. I didn't like his ending or whatever, which I won't spoil just in case you haven't watched anything. But the first maybe 3 or 4 seasons, there was a moment when Rick turned into where I was like, whoa, this is what this world would do to somebody if you're still alive at that point. And so that was where I was just like, okay, this is dope. I really loved Shane, even though that was hard to watch. I loved Glenn, all that stuff. I think my favorite though, if I were to only pick one character, would be Daryl.
Okay.
Which is, I think we talked about this in the last time that we talked about this, but I find that so weird because he's a show created character. He's not from the original source material. But first off, I love the actor, Boondock Saints all day, but the character itself is probably the one that I relate to the most. Oh, he's the lone wolf, you know, and that's me all the time. I am, if I'm not with you and the kids, I mean, you can pretty much bet that I'm by myself, especially when he gets dog. I'm just yep, that'd be me. I'd just be me and dog.
My favorite from The Walking Dead would be Negan. I love his character arc is so good, and he's so crazy. He's so over the top, and especially when he does change, and then when he has to when he dabbles back in. I don't know. I am entertained by him.
That's where me and Daryl definitely disagree as far as how we would react to things, because his arc with that character of Negan was very it was just one of those man, what the hell?
Yeah.
And by the time it gets to a certain level or point, I'd have killed Negan, but he didn't.
Yeah, and then if you were to jump over to Fear, because again, we loved Fear those first 3 or 4 seasons probably.
Kind of the same thing with Walking Dead though, but we kept going with Walking Dead. Well, we kept going with both, but
yeah, but
it didn't get noticeably as bad, even though it did get noticeably worse. It just wasn't as bad.
But I really loved Nick, and I really enjoyed Mr. Dory from June and the sheriff.
Mr. Dory or actual Dory?
Yeah, the original, the son, okay. not the old man Dory.
I liked his character a lot too.
He was so
Who's
good.
Nick?
Nick was the son, Alicia's brother.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was in the wrong series.
But
yes, I did like Nick.
Yeah,
I did
Nick,
not. He was the character that you disliked a lot.
Oh, I know.
In the beginning.
Yeah, but I don't know.
He had a good story arc. That's exactly what I'm saying.
But almost all of the characters in the show have a great story arc.
Well, because even Alicia has one up until a certain point, and then you're like, what? This is not her. And but that's what I'm saying. With this show, it was very good, and then got noticeably bad after that, because Nick was a great written character. He had some really low lows.
Yes.
And then just really ramped up to a high until you no longer see him, and that was great character development and writing and acting and directing and editing and everything. And the show is such now. I'm just it's so hard to watch, and I don't hate watching anything.
You already went over this with your first answer, but
sorry.
Which character in The Walking Dead do you likely resemble in a zombie apocalypse, and why?
Yeah, I did answer that. So maybe you answer it for me. I think that is a better I could pick you, and you could pick me. You know what I'm saying?
I think I've compared you to Daryl in the past when we've watched it.
You have no problem comparing me to anybody. If there's anybody that even remotely reminds her of me,
that's
it's
you.
Yep, instantly. I'm like, thanks. It's usually the asshole or the loner. So yeah, so that's great.
I don't think you're an asshole.
It's always the asshole character, the brooder.
I know, but usually it's because he's brooding and dark, but he has a heart of gold inside. And that's Daryl.
I guess.
So.
The world's burned him.
Yeah. So, well then fine. I guess now you get to pick me.
That's the thing, is that we're going from Fear or from Walking Dead?
I had said it as in the universe, as a whole, but you can stick to just The Walking Dead if you want to. Okay.
You remind me, at least early on in the series, of Carol, actually.
Oh gosh, that sucks. Especially if it's early on. She doesn't become cool until later.
That's the thing. When she becomes a badass, that's not you. So like I don't think that you would ever get to that point.
I'm so meek, and I'm just gonna try and take care of you. That's what she is.
So no, because
she like latches herself onto Daryl.
That's midway through her.
Thanking him.
That's midway through her character arc. Her beginning character arc is she's just existing in the world that became what it was until what you would assume, or what maybe she assumed, would be her eventual death. And that doesn't come for her. Instead, she grows as a character and becomes a badass. One of the best characters also. That's another one that I would probably put in my lineup. Carol's awesome. But that beginning character, not that you're like you put up with abuse or anything like that, like the character did. It's just that you were so just kind of like whatever. And I think that, like, especially based off of when we talk, because when we used to watch the show for the first time, we would talk about shit afterwards, like on our walks. It would always be like, oh, well, like, how would we survive this or whatever? And she automatically kills herself, like always, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, you don't think that we would be able to stay alive for a little bit? She's like, oh, you're fine, but well, I'm dead.
That's why I had said that I liked to, her name is Beth, I figured out. Yeah. And because that's how you come to know her is, and I feel like that's how I would be if I found myself in a zombie apocalypse. Without children, obviously, where she doesn't even want to try to fight to live. She's like ready to off herself, and then they don't allow her to.
I forgot that her arc was like that.
And then she decides, like, actually, okay, I am stuck in this world, so I'm going to figure out how to play the game properly.
Okay, so then I would say that you're probably a good mix of the two. It's so long as you're in a position of like, oh, we're okay for now, then I think you would be trusting, kind of like Carol was. Like, she just kind of went with her husband, even if it wasn't the best. But, you know, eventually wised up. I think both of the characters did that.
What scene in The Walking Dead really got to you or gets to you? Like, if you think about it. I feel like for everybody, it's the... Which, again,
this is why Negan's unredeemable. Okay, like I can't even begin to understand why you like him.
I just do, especially because you find out, like, and you find out with almost every character. I had to quiz him, not quiz, but like, hey, can you remind me, like, this one lady, like, was she even ever good? Because that's basically what you find out through the series, is even the worst person, they weren't horrible. Negan didn't start out horrible. It was what the world did to him and his wife that made him horrible.
Right, but I think that the show does such a good job of showing you how people are without supervision, because the internet is like that too.
This last one in the group is, will you guys ever...
This all from the same person?
Yeah. Will you guys ever read the comic book series? We actually have it.
I have them all. One of our friends, who's a WearTesters Discord member, hardcore supporter, he's actually, I think I said this when we showed some of the comic books that they sent, but he's now like one of the main managers over at Skybound, which is like where all of these comics live and stuff. Like, he's friends with Robert Kirkman and
actually, I'm going to say this for him.
His name's Arun, by the way.
Yeah. Chris was telling me that Jeff Loeb commented on something.
Oh, because he finally announced it.
Yes. Yeah. And Chris was just like, oh my gosh. And he came to me, he's like, do you even know who Jeff Loeb is? I was like, yes, I know who Jeff Loeb is. His name is spelled J-E-P-H. Like, that's how much I know about Jeff Loeb.
I made her read the entire Long Halloween series because it was so fucking good.
So anyways, congratulations. That's a huge deal. And yeah, we do, we each got the full set of...
compendiums is what they're called?
They're gigantic books. And
you can hurt somebody. You can kill a zombie with one of those.
Yeah, so obviously we are in the same household, and so I was like, we don't need 2 full sets. So I gave them to a family friend, and he was stoked. Yeah. But yeah, those are some hefty books. I've like looked through them, and I'm just like, I'm such a Kindle girl. Like, I love being able to hold something that's barely bigger than my phone to read. But I could definitely...
That's funny, because I prefer the book. Like, I like physical media.
Oh, and I didn't even, you're the one who got me on that pathway for so long. I was just like, no, I love walking into a bookstore or Target and being able to open a book, read a couple pages, and being like, yeah, I'm gonna get this book. And I was like, now I gotta do all my like shopping on a little device and commit to something. Like, I don't know. But Yeah, so anyways, these books are so giant that I don't know how to go back to that style of reading.
I just don't have time. So I have read some of it, but I haven't read all of it. Same thing with the Invincible. He sent all the Invincible compendiums, and I've read some of it, and some of it's still wrapped up because I'm just like, these books are like this thick.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking. Like it's the entire series or whatever that they've gotten up until that point. And for The Walking Dead, it was the entire series. But I'm so busy. I think adding this podcast made us busier.
Yes.
So
busier, and we've touched on this before. It makes it sometimes hard for us to talk. Like, for example, we are in the middle, and I don't even know if I want to say this, but I'm pretty confident we will have finished the series by the time this episode loads, so you guys won't spoil anything for me. But we are now watching the Squid Games challenge.
That show's weird as
we watched 3 episodes yesterday, and we had talked after the first 2, and we're talking during, and then we had finished the 3rd one, and I almost didn't want to talk to you about it because I was like, this would be great to talk about on the channel. Like, reality TV is a thing again, and it's so enjoyable because...
and that kind of stuff irritates me because if I'm with you, like in personal or present space, then we should be able to interact together. And if we don't, then I'd rather be by myself. Like, I'm like, why am I wasting my time just being around you? You know, like
because you love my presence.
But I don't.
Oh.
I mean, like, you know what I mean, though? Like, I need to be able to communicate. Otherwise, like, for me, it's like, what's the point?
No, I know. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I never know, like, if this is something we should save. Like, we went and watched The Marvels right when it came out, and I was like, is this something we should talk about later? And I was like, I'm not going to wait, like, a whole week to talk to you about a movie. So we can just talk about it ourselves, and we don't have to talk about it on the podcast, even though it's nerdy, and it would make great for the Timeout section.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't bother me because talking about it makes me like think about it even more. So by the time we would sit here and discuss it, I feel like we would have an even better conversation. But I mean, it just kind of depends on the way that your brain works, you know? So yeah, I think that more discussion is better than no discussion.
Anyways, the Squid Games show is weird when it first starts out. I will say that.
You get into it quickly.
Within like 10, 15 minutes, you're like, I want to watch all of it. Like, why do I have to do anything else with my life for the next 6 hours? Like,
we had discussed this yesterday, I think, and or like after we had finished watching the first 2 episodes, and I was like, yo, they did. I had compared it to like The Challenge, the Real World Road Rules thing from MTV back in the day, and that show, it took them however many seasons of individual seasons, like of their own shows, to establish all this stuff. And this show was able to do it in 1 episode. And it's like crazy to me to even like be like, dang, that's great editing, like great editing. So that's the thing where I'm just kind of like, yo, they did a great job with this show because I'm not even into reality. All right, guys, so Jodi's Corner is back. I apologize for the hiatus. We just didn't have time to fit it in. This is probably one of our longest segments, if not the longest.
You think so?
You don't think so? I know that the last one was a little short, but like I estimate about 30 minutes.
Just for moi?
Well, because we're discussing stuff.
I know.
And
I guess,
you know, I ask a lot of questions.
I guess because it has the outro with it. So yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not trying to take up a huge time of our podcast here.
No, I'm not saying that. Like I told you, I almost turned the whole podcast into this only.
Yeah.
You know, so people do like the segments and stuff. Like they want to hear a little bit of, you know, sneaker news and toys and stuff. Obviously, there's people that don't too, but like not everything's for everybody. Like you gotta like that's kind of why things are compartmentalized like this. It's because like we are people, we are interested. Yeah, we're interested in different stuff, you know. And like what else would a podcast be for but to talk about the things that you are interested in? You know what I mean? So like this is what you're interested in, which is why I was like, we need to put this as a segment.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm not saying that it takes over. I'm just saying, I apologize that it wasn't part of, I think it was like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, we've missed out on it.
Yeah, so, although I will say you're welcome, because I know that you stress out a little bit.
Sometimes. It can be hard, only because I don't want it to become all the same. So like, that's why each one has been a little bit different.
Which they're supposed to.
So
that was the whole point. Jodi's Corner, I originally wanted to title it, What Did You Learn Today? Or What Did We Learn Today? And the original pitch to you was like, pick something that you think is interesting. It could be something in regards to sneakers. It could be in regard to anything else. Try not to make it so murder heavy. You know what I mean? That was my only thing, was I was like, don't scare me.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, or don't make my mind go into places that I don't want it to. That was my only like set of rules for you, which
Yes.
was like, don't f my brain up.
And today
You're gonna f it up.
I am ignoring your request.
Yay.
So you always want to know how I get to where I'm going. So for today's podcast, I started out by being like, hey, what in history happened on such and such date? I can't remember the original date I was looking at, if it was the 27th of November or the 28th. Y'all can check it really quick. But it was the anniversary of Jeffrey Dahmer being murdered in prison. I believe it happened in 1994, it said. That's what, 30 years? Or no, it will be 30 years next year. So 29 years. I wasn't going to cover Dahmer because Dahmer was like a major hot topic within the last year because of, again, Netflix. So if you want to go look at all of that, actually, there's a really good movie that you guys should check out. It has, what is his name?
Is that the Nickelodeon kid?
I thought he was a Disney kid.
Or is he Disney?
Yeah, he's a Disney kid. The guy who was in Teen Beach Movie, Austin and Ally. Anyways, he plays a young Jeffrey Dahmer, and I feel like that was so good. But anyways, we're not talking about Dahmer today. So basically what had happened was...
Then why are we talking about Dahmer?
What had happened was I was just trying to like look at things in history that happened to see if anything would spark my interest to be like, okay, I'm going to learn more about that so I can teach you about that.
It's not me, it's us.
It's specifically what I can talk to you about, though, is my main goal, because if you're not going to be interested in it, this is going to be a really hard segment to get through.
I like how she's painting this picture of like, no, I got to teach you. And I said, don't scare me. She's like, f you.
So then it became, well, wait, because I'm also listening to Christmas music while I'm doing all of this research.
And if you ever wanted to know how her brain works, that's exactly it. She is listening or watching to somebody being murdered, laughing about it, while also listening to Christmas music.
I'm not laughing about it.
Somebody's laughing about it. Those people that you also listen to, My Favorite Murder.
I love them. Karen and
What's
Georgia.
your favorite murder? Like, I'm like, what? How is this a podcast? How are people into this?
Anyways, I decided to then look up like, hey, has there been any crazy crimes that have happened on or around Christmas? And the internet is great. There's tons of lists for everything. And so I found this one where I'm going to talk to you about Samina Imam, I believe is how you say her name. She was a 34-year-old woman who was killed by her boyfriend and his brother on Christmas Eve in 2014. As far as locations go, we're again going across the... What's that for?
I have a meeting in 5 minutes. It's at 12:30.
I'm not going to be able to get through this in 5 minutes. All right. I feel very Spider-Verse saying this, but one more time.
Let's try this one more time.
So we have Samina Imam, who is...
Wait, are we keeping everything we've done?
Okay. I thought we were.
Okay. It's a podcast, folks.
She's the victim here, and it's the year 2014.
Did I plug my mic back in? I did. That was the real Jodi right there.
And we are over in England in the town of Leicester?
Is this in America?
I just said we're in England.
Look.
It's been a long morning.
It's been a long day, okay, first off. Second off, I just ate lunch finally, and it's 2:55, which is crazy. And now I'm kind of in a food coma, so just bear with me here, okay?
Sit back and enjoy.
I'm going to fall asleep.
Listening ears, please. She has her boyfriend. They work together at Costco over there.
What year is this?
2014.
You said this already. They have Costco in England?
I was amazed too. But yes, her boyfriend is her boss at Costco.
Okay.
And his name is Roger Cooper. He's 41 years old.
Is he an American?
I don't think so.
Roger Cooper, I mean, that's pretty American.
Well, get a load of his brother, who's named David Cooper.
I had a friend named Robert Cooper, and we would call him Coop.
Okay.
And he's the reason why I have a gray tooth.
So David Cooper is 39, and he's an ex-soldier.
You sounded like you didn't give two shits about that little story that I just gave.
I just want to get through my story.
I feel a little drunk off Pasole.
Pasole. You have Pasole belly.
So good.
So Roger is married.
Roger.
And he's actually balancing 3 women. His wife, Samina, again,
She's
the victim.
A side chick.
Yes, and they have a coworker that he is also dating.
Wait, Roger is her boyfriend?
Yes.
Is she sure about that? If he's married, then...
I know. Anyways, there's this love triangle that is happening at Costco, plus he has his wife at home.
I could be somebody's boyfriend?
I guess so. Samina and Roger have been together for 2 years, and this is the start of the problems. She no longer wants to be the side chick. She wants to be the main chick, and she's saying, you need to drop this other girl that we are working with, and you need to lose your wife.
She knew about the other side chick that was also a coworker?
Roger is sweating, and he doesn't want to do what she's asking, and he also doesn't want, like, the higher ups. Like, he might be the boss at Costco, but you know, like, you're never just the boss. Like, there's still...
Yeah, you're just the manager.
Yeah.
There's corporate.
So he's worried about all of that coming out, and he doesn't like that. So Roger and his brother David spend a month trying to figure out how they can take care of Samina, which is crazy because it doesn't seem like David, the brother, has actually ever really met her. So
Does he work at Costco?
No. All it says is that he's an ex-soldier, and I'm just kind of like, I mean, I love my siblings, but I can't imagine them coming to me and being like, so I need to take care of this person you've never really even heard about.
I just want to know why, for all these morons that go to this extreme, why is that your first resort?
Oh, I know.
And this is 2014?
Yeah.
So this is modern day.
Yeah.
What makes you think you're getting away with it?
Again, this murder happens on Christmas Eve, and it turns out that they actually attempted to try and take her out twice.
I like how we go from me asking the question of what makes them think they'd get away with this to you just being like, okay. So there was some stuff in between. Our kid was being loud out there, but what you heard is different.
This is a difficult day, and it's not even near the end of it.
Welcome to WearTesters.
Christmas Eve, the day of her death, is not even the first time that these 2 guys try to take her out. There was at least 2 other times.
They were unsuccessful twice, and they still thought it'd be a good idea to do this?
They originally tried to take care of her on December 11th, and then again on the 21st, but there was like surveillance footage of her, and they were like, we're too nervous that they're going to be able to timestamp some things here. So they revised their plans.
They're worried about timestamps, not DNA.
Yeah. While the police are investigating everything that happened, they find the brothers' plans via text, where they speak in code via Star Wars.
Oh, so they're nerds too?
Yeah.
Wow.
The texts include phrases such as...
We don't claim them.
Such as Death Star complete, stay on target, look at the size of that thing, you are expected, Vader.
Hold on a second. They've got a dude named Roger, and they didn't even think to say, Roger, Roger.
Maybe they did, and maybe the police didn't even catch that one. I don't know. These were the examples that I had found.
What a couple of dumbasses.
So now for the actual murder when it took place. Again, it's Christmas Eve.
How old was she?
34.
Okay.
Samina gets off work, and she thinks that her boyfriend, her man, is taking her on a mini romantic getaway to Birmingham's Malmaison Hotel, and they're supposed to go away for 2 nights.
Well, she's supposed to go away permanently.
So, but instead, they make a pit stop at the brother's house, and the brother has like a decent sized plot of land. For size reference, she is only 5'2", and the brothers are 6'2" and 6'4". So they go inside. They bring in a bottle of alcohol that she had bought that they later find inside of the brothers' refrigerator as part of evidence. But they are barely there for more than a couple of minutes when they attack her. Roger holds her down on the couch while David, the brother, he actually confesses to holding a tea towel doused in chloroform to her face. And then once she's passed out, they somehow get her to swallow a concoction of metallic elements, including antimony, cadmium, tin, mercury, and arsenic.
They could have just stopped at the mercury, but okay. I mean, that would have been slow, but like still.
So on David's property is a shed with a plaque on it that reads...
How the hell did they get all that stuff?
I don't know. I don't know that part. But the shed has a plaque on it that reads, "Office memo. Don't wind me up. I'm running out of places to hide the bodies."
How many people did they kill?
I don't know, but the brothers proceeded to put Samina in a sleeping bag, saran wrap it, or cling wrap the sleeping bag, and then place her in a shallow grave within a few feet of the shed. Her family ends up notifying authorities that she's missing on Boxing Day, which is a day after Christmas.
Yeah.
So police end up actually arresting both brothers on January 7th.
So from Christmas Eve to January 7th, is that what you said? Mm-hmm. That's not a long time.
No, I know.
They didn't get away with nothing.
Yeah, they figured it out very, very quickly. So once the brothers went to trial, it took 8 weeks to go over everything. And they were both found guilty and have to serve 30 years each.
That's it? So it's not just America? Like, the world just sucks?
Yeah.
How is someone's whole life worth 30 years? Like, is there age a factor? So like 30 plus 40, like that type of thing? Like, oh, he's going to be, like, if he even makes it that long?
I'm not sure exactly how all of that works. And I definitely wouldn't know from country to country. But the judge, while sentencing them, gave a really beautiful speech. But my favorite part, which is exactly what you basically brought up as soon as you heard why this even happened, but he had said was, "You killed a bright, selfless, ambitious, hardworking, and life-loving woman. She wanted more, like, was inconvenient for you."
What makes you think in today, like, you got to be stupid to think that you're getting away with murder today. Like past 1996, maybe 94. You're not getting away with it, bro.
Oh, I know. And the fact that like so many cold cases are now like
getting reopened and solved.
Yeah.
They were worried more about surveillance than DNA. Like dumbasses. Did his wife know about these other?
The stuff that I was reading didn't like they didn't even name from the things that I was reading the other ladies, like the wife or the third woman's name.
Well, so so she knew about those two, so I'm going to safely assume that the other two knew about the other ones. And so if you were already getting away with having multiples, why murder? Like,
the only thing I could think of was he was worried that she was going to go to corporate and be like...
So you'd rather risk your entire life or the rest of it going to jail?
I guess.
Like, wait till corporate gets a load of that.
Yeah.
So, like, I just think it's so stupid. Did he have any priors or anything? Like, he was
I didn't see
a good person
about that.
until then? You see, the thing that we talked about earlier, if the world ends, right? Like a zombie apocalypse, some kind of cataclysmic event. Your thought process, despite all the stuff that you listen to and watch, your thought process is that people are inherently good.
I want them to be good.
But this guy is a prime example of that's not the case.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to The Walking Dead, they do a good job of making it so that everybody you are basically able to, like, feel for them.
Yeah, you're supposed to sympathize with everybody because, you know, everybody's a character. But the fact that I see when I watch something like that is that, oh, it's depicting real life. That's what I connect with. It's not that, oh, he was a teacher and now he beats people's brains in with a baseball bat. Oh, I'm so sad. I love Negan though. No, f that guy, dude. You know what I mean? Like, if he did all of that after Lucille, then the dude had been a douchebag in some way, whether it's internal and kept that way, like kept dormant or whatever. But either way, dude was a monster from the jump. Like, this guy already, like, it was made.
She just wanted more. She wanted to be the main with no extras.
But that's what I'm saying though. His first option was murder. And he was to attempt it twice before accomplishing the goal. So, like, you're telling me he was a good dude?
I didn't say he's a good dude. I never said he's a good dude.
No, but your thought process is like, oh, he's just a good guy.
I didn't say, no, I never did.
He's just a good guy working at Costco.
I never. You're putting words in my mouth.
That guy, just like the majority of the characters on The Walking Dead, bad guy.
Oh, this guy for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
And he's an idiot.
Yeah.
To be fair, he would probably live in a zombie apocalypse. He'd have no problem doing what's necessary. That's a different discussion though, which is like, could you, not just would you be able to survive, but could you survive with the chaos. You know what I mean? Like, would you be able to do what's necessary to protect you, your family, your home, or whatever, wherever you're staying, whatever food you have or supplies? Like, would you be able to do what's necessary to keep that? That's where a Negan comes in. But still, he ended up taking that too far, as I'm looking at my Negan pop over there.
Which I got you.
That I did not buy me. I did not buy that for me.
I got you Daryl too.
I know.
Isn't Dog with him?
I think so.
So.
But yeah, just very interesting stuff. So, you know, those are the types of things that I think about when I watch like content or listen to stories and stuff like that, which is why I ask so many questions, because I'm trying to, today I'm just an idiot because I'm full and tired. But like normally I'm trying to not figure out, but like I'm trying to understand just a little bit, maybe just a little bit.
It's
like,
just so funny because in my notes I was like, I'm gonna start at the beginning, being like, I'm giving you the year, I'm giving you the location, I'm letting you know their ages, and.
But you didn't factor in pozole.
I know, I did not know we were gonna have delicious pozole.
So yeah, I was like full of pork, corn, and broth. We got to do an outro, but it's like.
Can you do it quickly?
Do you know me?
Can we just say bye?
Can't we just do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for watching.
We'll be much more organized and together next time.
No, we're organizing together. We just like today was just a different type of day.
It was a different day.
There's always a wrench getting thrown into something sometimes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoy the content. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you guys in the next one. So until then, or not next podcast, but next video.
Next video.
And yeah, peace.
Bye.